Hello. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 very simple strategies to stop emotional eating, which you can start today. And the best news is that they don't involve another hideous diet or awful slimming club. None of that boring, tiring stuff. In fact, this video and all of my content is all about teaching you how to ditch the diet for good. Because healing your relationship with food is all about mindset, and we all have that power within our minds to find food freedom, except up till now, no one's told you how to do it. And I'm guessing that's why you're here. So listen in, because I'm going to give you 3 really powerful strategies to help you get that food freedom. So this video has come about as a result of an interview that I did with the Sun newspaper. They interviewed me and asked me about binge eating disorder and how to overcome it, because that's what I do for a living, and I used to be a massive binge eater myself, an overeater. So they asked me for an interview, and they asked me for 3 strategies, 3 top tips to help stop binge eating and overeating. So I thought, well, why not do a video on it as well? So here we go. Here is number 1. Start to connect with your emotions. Now, what do I mean by this? So, when you have a binge eating episode, when you're in that frenzy and shoving all the food down your throat, you're not really thinking about anything at all. But there is an emotion, there are some thoughts that are driving that behaviour. So after you've had a binge episode, write down everything that you were feeling in that moment. And that's really going to help you to start to unpick the behaviour and reframe what's going on for you. And actually, quite often, just even recognizing the emotion, giving the feeling, giving a word to the feeling. Am I feeling happy, sad, alone, afraid, frustrated, angry? Often when we just give it the feeling, when we say what it is that we are feeling, that can often be enough to move on from the unwanted behavior. But of course, if you've had this problem for a number of years, sometimes we need to go a lot deeper than that in recognizing what's driving those feelings. What are the thoughts that are driving the feelings? What are the beliefs that are driving the thoughts that are driving the feelings? Because all of our actions are driven by our emotions and feelings, driven by our thoughts, driven by our beliefs. So sometimes when you've had something for a very, very long time, you want to go much deeper than that. So head over to my masterclass after this video, the 5 shifts to end emotional eating forever, where I cover this in a lot more detail. The link is in my bio. But for now, let's move on to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is to write a feel-good list about yourself. Now, what's the point of that, I hear you ask? A low self-esteem and not liking yourself can lead to comfort eating to feel better. So you've got to reprogram and rewire your mind into thinking about yourself in a better way. So one way to start doing this is to write down a list of 20 things that you like about you. Now, that might seem like a lot, 20, but it isn't, trust me. You can do this, I believe in you, you've got this. So write down that list of 20 things, write it down or print it off, however you prefer to do it. And check in with that list every single day so that you are refocusing your mind on all the good things about you rather than things you don't like. And keep adding to that list. It doesn't have to stop at 20. Keep adding to 30, 40, 50, 100. You have got this. I know you have. And what this process does is it really starts to change the relationship that you've got with you. It starts to program that mind into really liking yourself. I mean, God forbid you might actually like yourself. But you can start this today and it makes such a difference, I promise you. And on the subject of liking yourself, we segue nicely into tip number 3. And tip number 3 is to stop beating yourself up. You're a good person, so for God's sake, just stop beating yourself up on a daily basis. I know exactly what you're doing, because I used to do it myself, but it doesn't get you anywhere. And actually with food, it makes you eat more, because the mind is hardwired, completely hardwired, to move you away from pain towards pleasure. So the whole time you've got a terrible internal dialogue with yourself. The whole time you keep beating yourself up for stuff that is just completely unnecessary, by the way. The whole time you do all of that, the mind has to move you away from that pain towards pleasure. And what gives instant pleasure? Food, of course it does. So stop beating yourself up. Start treating yourself like you would treat your best friend. Be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. You are a good person. You don't deserve to be flogged every day the way you're doing it to yourself. And when you do that, when you start to be kinder to yourself, nicer to yourself, you don't need food in the same way. But you've got to be consistent with it. The mind learns by repetition. So you've got to repeat this stuff. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They try it for 2 or 3 days and then it's just like, oh my God, this is too much like hard work. I'm going to give up. Please don't give up. Be repetitive. Repetition will get you results. It really is that simple a concept. Not so easy to execute. I get that. So head over to my other video, Understand This and Beat Binge Eating Forever, and I will show you exactly where you've been going wrong where it comes to solving your overeating issue, and then I will also show you exactly what to do so you can get food freedom. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, then hit that like button, but I'm sure you've done that already, right? And if you want to be really nice and kind, then do hit the subscribe button as well. Kind to yourself and kind to me. So don't forget, watch my next video, and also there is the free masterclass too. So see you very soon in the next video.